Now at 7 o'clock, tens of thousands of people in Oregon and Southwest Washington took part in the nationwide No Kings protest over the weekend. We'll have a live report on what happened during the local rallies coming up. Plus,
you might be a school that is sourcing, fresh greens from a farmer right down the road.
Talking a farm to school cafeteria this morning. Coming up, we will take a look at a program that aims to keep kids' lunches tasty, fresh, and very local.
To not have answers, to not know where he is, to not find his body.
we're also talking about a family's desperate search for a missing tribal elder in eastern Oregon. Why loved ones say the clues in this case simply don't add up.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us live at 7 o'clock. I'm China Green.
And I'm Drew Carney. Chris McGinnis and Rod Hill also on board for the 7 o'clock hour. Rod, we'll start here with your forecast.
Well, we've been tracking some lingering showers this morning, expected to be ending at any moment. Our cameras are, most of them now, slowly showing increasing breaks in the cloud cover, and this will be a Monday that eventually just becomes partly to mostly sunny and really pretty nice. Here's the Springs at the waterfront camera along the Vancouver waterfront, looking off to the east over the I-5 bridge. There are those breaks in the cloud cover now showing up. Temperature is 50. Some breaks in the cloud cover looking off to the east from the Wells Fargo camera, and some breaks, and there's Mount Hood sticking up from the Chehalem tasting room camera out in Sherwood. Temperatures are 40s and low 50s out the door right now. We'll say mainly dry at the bus stop and then all dry throughout the day. 56 degrees at noon. Should be pretty sunny out later today, around 62 when the kids get out of school. Here's Chris.
Rod, traffic is quickly becoming a mess on the south side of town. This is I-5, a couple of I-5 cameras here. The thing that we're looking at is, I'm not sure if this is a crash or a disabled vehicle near McAdam. I'll zoom in real quick on the traffic map, and you can see here that it looks like there's a semi involved and can't see what's over to the right, but you can see the taillights here. This is I-5 northbound traffic. Again, we're coming to a screeching halt coming out of the Twilliger curves right now. So if you can, maybe consider using 99W because the drive on I-5 north right now is backing up very quickly. Guys, I'm working to get more details on this, and we'll stay on top of it here over the next little bit.
All right, sounds good, Chris. Tens of thousands of people around the region rallied over the weekend as part of the nationwide No Kings protest.
Portland area demonstrators included rallies downtown in Tigard, Clackamas, Lake Oswego, and Vancouver. Sunrise reporter Thomas Schultz joins us live in downtown Portland this morning. So Thomas, bring us up to speed on what we saw Saturday.
Well, guys, protesters told our crews here on Saturday that they came out to protest in downtown Portland to push back against the Trump administration as the Trump administration tries to bring National Guard troops into Portland. Across the downtown area, people flooded the area dressed in costumes and inflatables, holding signs and playing instruments. The march went on for hours and appeared overwhelmingly peaceful. Our crews did see a few agitators on a corner who seemed to be trying to pick fights with protesters, though those we spoke with say protests like this one are essential.
I'm just horrified at the way they're treating immigrants and people of color and grabbing people off the streets, and I think it's pretty disgusting.
We declared ourselves a sanctuary church when I first got back 30 years ago. We've held ICE out because with our neighbors hurting, we cannot be silent.
Now, some protesters like Reverend Knudsen, who you just heard from there, say the mischaracterizations, in his opinion, by the Trump administration of Portland as war-ravaged played a part in the large turnouts. He added that the best way to push back is through non-violent protests like the one we saw on Saturday. Drew, China.
All right, Thomas Schultz live for us there this morning in downtown Portland. Meanwhile, take a look at these pictures that were taken near a No Kings protest in Vancouver on Saturday. That's where police say they arrested a man on suspicion of DUI and reckless driving. The driver was identified as Jason Miller. He's accused of rear-ending another car. No protesters were hit, but someone was hurt trying to get out of the way of that crash.
In Northwest Portland, 3 people were taken to the hospital after 2 cars went over an embankment. It happened just before 12:30 Sunday afternoon along Northwest Marina Way. Portland Fire and Rescue said 2 cars fell about 20 feet, trapping the 3 people inside. Firefighters got them out in about 15 minutes and then dragged the cars out after that. Portland police are searching for the person who shot and killed a man in southeast Portland Saturday night. Officers were called just after 10 to southeast 17th and Herald. They found a man on the sidewalk whom paramedics pronounced dead at the scene. No arrests have been made. Anyone with information is asked to contact Portland police.
Family and friends of a missing tribal elder in Eastern Oregon put together a search party Sunday afternoon using everything from kayaks to horses to look for him. It's been 2 weeks since he disappeared. KGW's Libby Dowsett has more after speaking to the man's daughters.
Today's very emotional. 2 weeks of not finding him, and we're looking really hard.
Molly and Twyla Jones say their father, 71-year-old Umatilla tribal elder Wesley Jones, is a survivalist.
Knew these rivers, knew every fishing hole, knew every ridge, every canyon, know where to go get the elk, know where to get everything. So it's trying on us with this search.
Family, friends, and authorities have used kayaks, horses, four-wheelers, and drones with no luck.
To not have answers, to not know where he is, to not find his body.
Tribal Police Detective William Morris acknowledges there are mysterious factors behind the disappearance based on Wesley's last sighting.
He was last seen on Sunday, October 5th, traveling east on Short Mile Road. When the vehicle returned heading back west, he was no longer in the vehicle from what we could see.
Police say they found his vehicle at home with a flat.
There's things that don't add up, things that he would have for sure had on him, and he left. So it looked as though he had no intention of leaving.
At this point, police say there is no evidence of foul play, and they're exploring a number of possibilities. The family says the only way they're going to find their dad is with more resources from both law enforcement and the community.
People we don't even know who have showed up and offered bringing their drones, their thermal drones. We've had individuals who we didn't know show up with their horses.
And had a lady from Walmart in Pendleton where he used to go to the cash register all the time, and she showed up.
We love him so much, and it's hard on us.
Libby Dowsett, KGW News.
One more note to Libby's report. Police tell us that a pair of scent tracking canines both marked spots along the Umatilla River, leading investigators to believe that Jones could be, or at least at some point was, in the water.
All right, check this out. The West Coast Giant Pumpkin Regatta took place in Tualatin yesterday. Crowds came out for the games, food, beverages, and of course the pumpkin boat races. Costume competitors paddled in giant hollowed out pumpkins, and yes, they are real.
Yes, it's amazing, and I would love to see how long it takes them to carve it out.
Right?
It's fun to see them tip too, and they're always good sports, so it's fun.
Organizers also had live performances throughout the day, including the Tualatin High School Marching Band, a clown, and dancing witches.
Looks like they had a window of dry weather for that event there as well. Okay, before we get back to Rod, a live look from our Providence Park Skycam. We're showing this to you because we got to mention the Thorns this morning, gang. The Thorns were not at home yesterday. They were on the road, but they did pick up a win, 2-0 against Angel City FC. And with that, the Thorns have clinched another postseason berth, extending their league-high postseason streak to 9 consecutive seasons. So how about a congratulations to the Thorns this morning. 9 straight appearances in the postseason. Pretty remarkable.
Yeah. It's a very good time for the Pacific Northwest sports right now.
That's right. We got the Mariners trying to get the World Series tonight, don't we? Game 7. All right. Chinookwa's Casino Resort in Lincoln City. This looks to be mainly cloudy. We are expecting increasing sunshine at the coast today as well. We do have some nice blue up over Mount Hood. And by the way, that's 5-6 inches of new snow that fell over the weekend. The snow level did not get down the Cascade Passes. Those highways are fine this morning. Here's mostly cloudy skies out along the Columbia from the Oregon Veterans Home camera in the Dalles. You folks will be up into the 60s today, and your wind forecast is west 10 to 15 miles per hour. The bricks are dry in downtown Portland. We've had a few frivolous scattered showers lingering this morning, but nothing over downtown Portland. And here are those temperatures: 47 up in Scappoose, 51 in Portland, 46 degrees down in Wilsonville, and 43 degrees out in Dallas. any lingering traceable showers. We'll be out of here shortly. And today goes on to be a day with increasing sun, kind of partly to mostly sunny. Might be some lingering pushes of cloudiness from time to time up around Astoria and Kelso, but that's it. Otherwise, a really nice day. 57 in John Day later today. Bend 61. There's the Dalles at 64 and low 60s in Portland and Salem. 7-day forecast. Watching a shower threat. It would be just a dab of rain, maybe late Wednesday. I'm not sure if rain develops Thursday or holds off until Thursday night. So basically, we could be dry for the next 4 days. But we do certainly have our next rainstorm coming in first thing Friday morning. Saturday looks really wet. It's Saturday that we could have the first significant snow, maybe 6 inches plus, stacking up at Government Camp for Cascade travel. So keep your eyes on that. That's this coming weekend. Here's Chris.
Rod, it looks like we've got what could be a really big mess on I-5. We've got our Wells Fargo sky camera looking down at a crash involving what looks like a couple of semis. There's one of them, and I can't make out exactly what's going on here at this point. No word on any injuries, but the traffic impact at this point is significant. I-5 traffic is now backed up from the south waterfront all the way back into the Twilliger curves and really moving slow, I might add. This is a different vantage point from McAdam. You can see, I think, the back end of that first trailer will take you farther south. Again, we're slowing and all the way back past Twilliger at this point. So the drive-in from Wilsonville has jumped up to 40 minutes and quickly stacking on from here. If you want to avoid this backup, 99W Barber Boulevard is your best bet to get around this. We'll keep you posted. This is going to have a significant impact on our I-5 commute moving forward. Guys, back to you.
All right, we'll definitely keep an eye on that, Chris. Thank you.
I'm really frustrated by the nickel and diming of Americans.
That man is talking about all the extra fees that come with flying these days. You're no longer in the good old days. These days we pay for meals, right? We pay to have our bags checked. We pay for special seating, and we could even start paying simply to recline our seats. So who the heck is charging extra for that? We're going to let you know when Sunrise continues in 2 minutes.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
Well, one commercial airline recently announced that it's going to charge passengers simply to recline their seats.
As you can imagine, not everybody is thrilled about this. NBC's Emily Ikeda has the details.
Sitting back and relaxing on a flight, Enjoy famous Pan American Clipper comfort.
Is going to start to cost you on one airline. WestJet, which serves 17 U.S. states, says it is getting rid of reclining seats in standard economy on its newly remodeled planes. The Canadian airline says fixed recline will help preserve personal space. Adding in a statement, our refreshed cabin caters to our guests' diverse preferences, whether they opt for premium seating with extra amenities and legroom or for more affordable ticket prices with less space. Its new Boeing 737s will offer a 3-tiered cabin layout, according to WestJet, with a new premium cabin that will cost more but provide a more comfortable seating angle. The announcement prompting swift backlash from some frequent flyers,
I'm really frustrated by the nickel and diming of Americans.
including Clint Henderson from The Points Guy, who doesn't like it but acknowledges it's a smart business move.
They know that they can sell those really cheaply, undercut the competition, and then they're adding what's basically a first-class cabin on some of these planes. They can sell those seats for more money.
If it's an overnight flight, why you wouldn't be allowed to recline your chair.
To recline or not to recline? The ambiguous airplane etiquette has been the cause of many heated confrontations, but some say WestJet's new change could solve that problem. With one user commenting on X, most flights are less than 5 hours, so you don't need to recline. While another writing, yet another way to make economy class more undesirable. All of it coming at a time when airlines are already charging more for assigned seats and extra legroom to checked bags.
You have lost 2 loyal customers. You will get charged $200 if your checked bag exceeds 62 inches.
So could upright seats be flying to your favorite airline next?
I'm sure they're watching this very closely, and if WestJet is successful in this, I think it could spread to U.S. carriers.
So my experience, I'm walking through the control room and everybody chimed in going, yeah, I've noticed that. I would say the overwhelming majority of flights I've taken recently where the seats are, and if they do recline, they only recline like that anymore. They don't. Right. They used to go way back. Now they just barely move anyway. But they're not working. Like even that doesn't work.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So
it's actually more frustrating when it's like, oh, I forgot to recline. I'm going to recline now. And you push that button, you go back like a hair, and you're like, eh.
That was it, baby. That was it.
The frustration builds.
Well, I said it earlier on the show, and I'll say it again. I'm 5'4", and if I'm crowded, which I am, there's a problem. Yeah. I just don't know how so-called normal-sized people get in to their seats.
You're not normal size?
I'm not normal size.
You had to ask that question.
I mean, I just wanted to reaffirm what he was saying.
Yes, thank you. Well, let me tell you, short Americans, it's good to be short when you get on an airline. I don't know how the tall people do it. I really don't.
What about putting like the overhead bags up there?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I slept in the overhead compartment once.
No,
so that wasn't bad.
Are you kidding?
No, I'm kidding. There's a look at her. Let's see here. Strong fall storm. Could we have a third weekend rainstorm in a row? It looks like we will. This one could be the wettest of the bunch, could be the coldest of the bunch. And I just want to alert you, I know it's only Monday, and we're talking about a front coming in Friday morning with a couple of days of rain Friday, Saturday. But I want to alert you to this because you haven't seen this yet this fall. This looks like a Saturday snow level of 3,500 to 4,000 feet with sticking snow potentially all day Saturday into Saturday night. If that's the case, the Cascade Passes will become snow covered. It could be 6 to 8 inches at Government Camp, and that would be the first snowy winter travel day over the Cascade Passes of the fall season. So keep yourself updated on that headline. All right, here's our rain map. Next chance of rain, this is Wednesday, late day evening. This shows maybe 2 107 inch in Portland, and we may or may not get anything Wednesday. It's a tail end of a front. I'm really showing you this animation because I want to highlight these numbers. This is what the modeling, and most of the models are in the same ballpark for this upcoming Friday, Saturday, 2-day rain event, showing 2-3 inches at the coast and well over an inch, maybe an inch and a half of rain over the valley. So right now your Friday plans look to be a washout. Your Saturday plans for the most part could also be a washout potentially. Now, with all that said, we're going to get into a little stretch of nice dry weather. We've got cloudiness for the most part going up around us the next couple of days. We've had and continue to have a few spotty traces of rain being caught. This is mostly north of Portland. All of that will be going away. This is one of the cloudier cameras right now from the Reserve Vineyards and Golf Club in Aloha, where it's 51 degrees. And this is one of the sunnier cameras down in Salem. That's a lot of blue sky over the Capitol Mall this morning with the temperature down to 43 degrees. Other temperatures, 50 up in Kelso, 51 Portland, 30 in Bend this morning. It will be mostly sunny east of the Cascades today, 21 in Burns and 33 out in Baker City. So valley forecast numbers, partly cloudy to mostly sunny in the valley. Already seeing you folks in Salem waking up to some sun. You'll get up to about 63. Southwest Washington waiting for all those spotty showers to end, and then a partly cloudy afternoon coming. Might be some periods of cloudiness passing up around Longview, Kelso, and Castle Rock. Temperatures, though, expected to hit 60. 7-day forecast numbers, that chance of rain late Wednesday. Do we get some rain developing Thursday? Ahead of Friday, I'm not certain. It's possible that the next 4 days will be dry. And then the rainy weather we talked about on Friday, Saturday into Sunday. Here's Chris McGinnis.
Rod, we got a huge mess on I-5 south of town. Our Wells Fargo sky camera now zoomed in. For perspective, this is right at the I-5-405 split on the south end of town. I don't have any word on any injuries at this point, but you can see a semi-truck and what looks like packages that have been strewn all over the road. The trailer and whatnot is pretty mangled. And again, this is just south of downtown. So traffic on I-5 now, I'm going to go ahead and show you on the traffic map. We are really stacking things up really quickly here. This is out near the I-405, I-5 split. They are diverting traffic around this at this point, and we're lined up now solidly all the way back to Capitol Highway. With that in mind, the drive-in from Wilsonville has spiked up to nearly 50 minutes at last check. If you want to avoid this, 99W or Barber Boulevard is probably your best bet to get around this. Again, China and Drew, I don't have any word on any injuries. Judging by the response, it doesn't appear like that type of a situation, but more of a big mess to clean up on the freeway, which is obviously going to be there for a while. We'll keep you posted on this as we get more information.
Thank you, Chris. The ceasefire between Israel and Hamas already facing some major tests after Israel launched a strike in Gaza yesterday. We'll have the latest when Sunrise streaming live at 7 continues in 2 minutes.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
Israel launched airstrikes into southern Gaza early Sunday in the first serious test of its ceasefire with Hamas.
Both sides have accused the other of significant breaches of the peace deal brokered by President Trump. Here's NBC's Alice Barr with the latest.
This morning, aid trucks at the Gaza border as Israel says deliveries of life-saving supplies resume today and that its forces are once again enforcing the ceasefire that President Trump said is still in effect.
Yes.
The fragile agreement facing a major test over the weekend when the Israeli military launched a wave of deadly strikes and paused aid transfers after accusing Hamas militants of killing 2 soldiers. President Trump citing internal divisions within Hamas.
We think maybe the leadership isn't involved in that, some rebels within, but either way it's going to be handled properly.
While underscoring that Hamas must disarm as required in the peace deal he brokered.
If we have to, we'll disarm
the U.S.
Well,
whether it's me or the U.S. or it's, a proxy, could be Israel, with our backing, we won't have boots on the ground. There's no reason to.
Vice President Vance offering more specifics.
That's going to require, as we know, some of these Gulf Arab states to get forces in there to actually apply some law and order and some security keeping on the ground.
The president's son-in-law, a key negotiator in the deal, zeroing in on governing Gaza.
The success or failure of this will be if Israel and this international mechanism is able to create a viable alternative. If they are successful, Hamas will fail, and Gaza will not be a threat to Israel in the future.
As the region and the world hope peace will hold. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Here's a look at some other national headlines now with your Morning Rush. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth says the U.S. military hit another suspected drug boat on Friday. 3 men were killed in the airstrike. Officials say the boat was tied to a Colombian terror group carrying large amounts of drugs. It's the 7th U.S. strike on suspected smugglers in the Caribbean. The government shutdown continues. Wednesday will mark 3 weeks. And for the first time since it was created, the agency that oversees the United States nuclear stockpile is furloughing most of its staff. About 1,400 workers at the National Nuclear Security Administration will be furloughed starting today. Less than 400 employees will stay on to safeguard the stockpile. Several major web services experienced issues early this morning after an Amazon Web Service outage. Snapchat, United Airlines, the cloud, even the McDonald's app, all down this morning. The outage also affected several government agencies, universities, and companies, including us right here at KGW. The outage, though, began at midnight. It stopped around 3:30 this morning. That's when it was fully restored, and there's still no word what caused it. That's a look at your Morning Rush. All right, big game tonight, to say the least. In fact, you could say it's the biggest game in Mariners history. They lost last night in Game 6 of the American League Championship Series. That sets up do or die tonight.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yes.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
It's Monday morning commute, which has turned into a mess. This is a live look now from our Wells Fargo sky camera down on I-5 on the south waterfront near the 405 split. No word on any injuries with this crash, but you can see this truck has somewhat mangled. There's boxes all over the freeway at this point, and the lineup is 5 miles now on I-5. I-5 traffic is stacked up all the way back to Capitol Highway because of this crash near the 405 split. You're going to want to take 99W Barber Boulevard to get around this. Rod, just a big mess shaping up for our I-5 northbound commute on the south side of town. We'll keep you posted as we roll through the morning.
You were saying probably there for quite a while, right, Chris? It sounds like a slow.
They got a mess to clean up, yeah.
Yeah, all right. Here's our Salem sky camera. We are waking up to this. That's blue sky for you folks in Marion County. Here's increasing breaks in the cloud cover from the Springs of the Waterfront Vancouver camera. We're at 51 degrees. This is a day with all early morning lingering showers. There have been a few. Ending soon, and then increasing sun, and we'll get up to 62. The forecast is really pretty quiet until our next rainstorm comes in Thursday night, Friday, and Saturday.
We start this 7:30 half hour of Sunrise with breaking news. This is a live pic from our Wells Fargo Skycam of a crash on northbound I-5 right at the I-405 split.
Chris McGinnis is covering this story for us. He's standing by with a look at the traffic impacts from that crash. Chris, we know a lot of headaches for anyone that's heading downtown.
5-mile backup right now, guys, on I-5 northbound. Traffic is lined up all the way back to the Twilliger curves. You can see ODOT crews have their right lanes blocked off right near this crash scene. So no word at this point on any injuries, but as we give you the live picture here, photojournalist Chad Dehart is actually on the pedestrian bridge overlooking I-5, and you're getting a better look at the cleanup that's involved here. Again, several lanes still blocked, and the front end of that semi mangled, and it looks like there's some packages all over the freeway. Only one lane getting by, and again, just for perspective, this is right where I-5 and 405 make that split on the south side of town. As we mentioned, traffic is lined up solidly all the way back to Capitol Highway. The drive-in from Wilsonville has spiked up to 52 minutes in building at last check. So the best bet to get around this, it's probably going to be there a while. The best bet is 99W Barber Boulevard. Rod, we'll keep you posted as we go through the morning.
Yeah, that's our big story. Thank you for that, Chris. We do have radar showing a few scattered showers, mostly at this point up around Astoria. All of that is expected to go away. We are dry in Portland. Chinookwiz Casino Resort camera for you. A little brightness through what is some shallow fog and cloud cover in Lincoln City. Expected to be a nice day, getting up to 60. And looking north up I-5, there's the Moda Center getting some breaks in the cloud cover right now. 51 degrees is the early morning number out at PDX. We will see increasing sun, partly cloudy at noon. Should be a nice afternoon. Light winds today, and we'll get up to about 62 for a high year 7-day forecast coming up a little bit later in the show, guys.
All right, thank you, Rob. We do have some more breaking news to share from overnight. 3 people are left without a place to live after an apartment fire in Gresham. This happened at this apartment complex over on Powell Boulevard. No one was injured, but we did get video that shows 2 pets receiving oxygen. Here's a look at that. Gresham Fire says one of those pets was taken to a vet hospital. Investigators are working to figure out what started the fire.
Tens of thousands attended No Kings rallies across the nation on Saturday, including in our region. We saw demonstrations in Clackamas, Tigard, Lake Oswego, Salem, and Vancouver. The largest one was in Portland. Protesters flooded the streets in costumes and inflatables, holding signs and playing instruments to protest against the Trump administration.
We talk with our daughter that we believe that all families should be able to stay together. There are families in our community who are being separated. They're just trying to live their lives. They have children who are going to school. They're working in jobs, contributing in important ways. And that's something that's important to us as a family.
The march continued for hours. Portland police tell us that they made 3 arrests.
He is blind. He is blind. And you just dropped him.
A local blind man says federal agents roughed him up on 2 separate occasions last week during protests outside Portland's ICE facility.
The Sunrise reporter Thomas Schultz joins us now. So Thomas, what else did he have to say?
Hey, good morning, guys. Yeah, Quinn Hobble says that after recent ICE raids, he felt compelled to join protests outside the ICE building in South Portland, though he says his peaceful protests were met with force by federal agents. On Tuesday night, Hobble was protesting outside the building along the driveway when he says federal agents picked him up and dropped him on the ground. A few nights later on Saturday, Hobble protested again, this time by sitting on the grass by the ICE building. He says his legs were barely in the facility's driveway when 6 agents grabbed him and dragged him inside the gates. Hobble is 4'6" and says he was overpowered and handcuffed for about an hour.
It was scary. Being dragged across the ground when you can't see what's happening around you. And they put their foot or something on my back and some part of them on my neck.
After being released, Hobble was taken to the hospital. His doctors say he is okay. We also reached out to DHS multiple times about this incident and what Hobble says happened. We're still waiting to hear back. Drew, China.
All right, Thomas Schultz for us in downtown Portland today. Meanwhile, there were at least 40 organized No Kings protests in Seattle over the weekend. This rally at the Seattle Center had an estimated crowd of 90,000 people. Local organizers are calling the No Kings movement the largest protest in U.S. history.
If I don't fight, who will?
We're doing it with nothing but love and just showing up.
It's like every day you look in the newspaper, there's like 2 or 3 things, at least big things happening that's showing erosion of our democracy.
State and local officials have taken legal action against the federal government and have redirected funds in response to federal budget cuts.
Meanwhile, we're waiting for several different cases to play out in their respective courts. On Friday, President Trump appealed to U.S. Supreme Court asking justices to allow him to deploy National Guard troops in U.S. cities. While that appeal deals with a case out of Chicago, it could have significant implications on what happens on the ground in Portland.
Stay with KGW for the latest surrounding Portland's ICE facility and the possible deployment of the National Guard to the city. We'll bring you updates on KGW.com, on the KGW mobile app, and right here on our free TV app, KGW+.
Investigators were looking into what caused a fire that heavily damaged a dental clinic in Tigard. Tualatin Valley Fire and Rescue were called around 10 yesterday morning to Kona Kids Dentistry. By the time they got there, smoke was coming from all sides of the building with several windows shattered by the heat. With the help of a second crew, they were able to keep the fire from getting much worse. No one was hurt, and firefighters were able to rescue fish from an aquarium inside the clinic.
Thousands of striking Kaiser healthcare workers in Oregon and Southwest Washington went back to work on Sunday, wrapping up a 5-day strike. This group includes union nurses and physical therapists, among others. Contract negotiations between the union and Kaiser are set to resume on Wednesday. The union says issues over pay and staffing are still unresolved, while Kaiser says its most recent offer addresses those issues.
People in Northwest Portland will need to find a new place to sip on cider after 10 years of serving up drinks. Yesterday was Cider Bite's last day open for business. In a statement, the owner said that they struggled through the pandemic and did not see similar foot traffic return. That, alongside rising costs, led to deciding that they were not going to renew their lease.
We're, part of the crowd in Portland that has unfortunately realized that we haven't had tourists come back to Portland. I think part of the national media just kind of made it sound like things are much worse here than they are.
He also said he is not ruling out an eventual return. Meantime, the NBA returns to NBC Tuesday night, and to celebrate, 30 Rocks outside its headquarters in New York City. There's one for each team, decorated by local artists. For the Blazers, Portland artist Caleb J. painted this beauty. You've likely seen his artwork on buildings around Portland, especially on the east side of town. He said his designs here drew inspiration from the Blazers' commitment to community outreach.
Let's talk baseball now. After losing last night in Toronto, the Mariners will play what many are calling the biggest game in the history of the franchise tonight. It is all or nothing. It's Game 7 of the American League Championship Series against the Blue Jays. The winner moves on to the World Series. Now, the Mariners could have gotten there by winning last night, but instead they dropped Game 6 in Toronto 6-2. We asked M fans, are you concerned? The answer, heck no.
We're going to need dominant postseason Kirby. It's Game 7. It's as good as it gets in sports, right?
They're always going to go to Game 7, so that's what we expect. And, we just got to win one more.
All right, that first fan there referenced postseason Kirby, talking about George Kirby, who is getting the start tonight for the Mariners. First pitch a few minutes after 5 o'clock. We're going to bring Rod Hill back into the mix here, China. I mentioned that stat earlier about the home teams and what the record is for home teams versus away teams in Game 7s. I was a little off my numbers earlier. I apologize. In terms of total number of games, 57 times there has been a Game 7.
In baseball, period.
In the history of the playoffs, there have been 57 Game 7s. Right. 30 times the home team has won, 27 times the visiting team has won. So really not much of a home field advantage. 30 versus 27.
That's I mean, I don't know. My instinct is to say that's surprising to me, that it's not more of like a 2/3 versus 1/3 advantage. But good for the Mariner fans, right?
Mariners, by the way, have never played in a Game 7, whether it's the ALCS, and of course they've never been to the World Series, so that would have never happened. But this is a first for them tonight. and they're hoping for another first by winning tonight and getting to the World Series.
Well, it's been a back and forth series, so yeah, let's go M's. We've got Mount Hood up for you. We've got beautiful sunshine over the mountain. 5 to 6 inches of new snow fell over the weekend, and there is a third weekend storm coming in a row this weekend. Storm front comes in Friday morning. Rain at times Friday into Saturday. Saturday snow levels look to be as low as 3,500 feet, which will be not only some hefty snow amounts at Timberline, but for the first time this season, could be advisories for travel and snow-covered roads at Cascade Pass level. Again, that's developing this coming Friday overnight into Saturday. Government Camp, I think, has a chance to pick up 6, 7, 8 inches of snow. So we'll be following that this week and keeping you updated. Here's the city of roses. We have some breaks in cloud cover looking north up I-5. You can see the Moda Center. Temperature out there is 51 degrees. We are mainly dry. There are a few spots still saying we've had a passing raindrop drop out of the clouds in the past hour, but mainly we're dry. 49 Battleground, 46 Beaverton, 46 degrees in Happy Valley. Winds are light, a little bit cooler down in Salem where you are, reporting some early morning sunshine, and 43 is your number. Willow is our KGW dog of the day, and yes, our dogs have all been in the Halloween spirit lately. Dog of the day at KGW.com. Attach your dog's photo and their name. Your dog will become our dog of the day. This is the day that, for the most part, we just see increasing sunshine across our region. It'll be 50s and 60s for highs, light winds, and upper 50s to about 60 degrees at the coast. 7-day forecast numbers, here they come. There's a late day shower throughout Wednesday. I'm not sure if we get developing rain Thursday PM or not. We could just simply be dry from now until we get into Thursday night. Certainly, the storm front I was talking about brings a rainy, breezy Friday and a rainy, breezy Saturday. Chris McGinnis is tracking our biggest story of the morning.
Yeah, a big traffic alert on the south side of town. Guys, it's been a while since we've seen a drive time like this. Nearly 90 minutes now to get you in from Wilsonville. Let me show you live right now. Photojournalist Chad DeHart is up over the pedestrian bridge over I-5 near the south waterfront that connects South Portland to the OHSU tram. And you can see what looks like a semi that's smacked into something here. No word on any injuries at this point, but at this point it also looks like there's a substantial cleanup that crews are very actively working to get on here. We'll show you the lineup right now. It's 5+ miles now from this crash scene back through the Twilliger curves all the way past Capitol Highway at this point. So again, the drive-in from Wilsonville has spiked up to about 80 minutes or so at last check. If you want to get around this back up, 99W Barber Boulevard is your best bet. Guys, it looks like they're making some progress here, but it's still going to be quite a while before they get that cleaned up, and the I-5 commute into town is going to be a mess for a while. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Chris. Still to come here on the Sunrise Show, we're highlighting a farm-to-school program that helps thousands of kids eat healthy and eat local at lunch. That story after this. But before we go to break, quick reminder about the KGW Great Toy Drive. Right now is the time to sign up to help us collect toys this year, and it is super simple to do. All you have to do is jump online. KGW.com/toys where to go, and when you sign up there, we will send you the official KGW Great Toy Drive collection kit.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news, live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yes.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
Thousands of kids across Oregon are eating local when they step into the cafeteria for lunch, and it's all thanks to a state program and hundreds of local producers.
KGW's Christine Pitawanich has a look at the Department of Agriculture's farm. It's twice this morning. Department of Agriculture with an apostrophe S, Farm to School program in this month's edition of Fresh from Oregon.
Okay. So right here we have masa. Masa is a corn meal. It's mixed with chilies.
At Salsas Locus in southeast Portland, these workers are whipping up fresh food for local students.
And for schools, we focus on tamales. We also do enchiladas. We do burritos.
Lucy DeLeon owns the business. She says in 2018 she attended a food show and Portland Public Schools approached her. The district became her first customer in the Oregon Department of Agriculture's Farm to School program.
And now we're in about 19 school districts throughout Oregon.
We were the first state to actually have a state-funded farm-to-school program, meaning the legislature actually gave us some funding to help schools buy more Oregon products.
The idea, not only to serve students at roughly 200 schools fresh, locally produced food, but also to support area businesses.
We have about 330 producers that sell into the program across the state, and really it's a very diverse program. So you might be a school that is sourcing, fresh greens from a farmer right down the road, or you may be sourcing Oregon pink shrimp from the coast.
The meat, vegetarian, or breakfast tamales from DeLeon's kitchen also have local ingredients.
From cow farms, the carrots, we also use Tillamook cheese from Oregon, and the Willamette Farm eggs from Oregon too.
This food, a representation of her culture.
And this is how I grew up making them, with my aunts and grandma and all the family.
It's a tradition she's now sharing with others.
That connection and that community is very important. One of the best feelings.
In southeast Portland, Christine Pitawanich.
It's always special for us.
KGW News.
All right, right now we do want to get back to what has become our top story of the morning. Chris McGinnis with a traffic alert for us. What's up, Chris?
Yeah, guys, we're looking live right now down on I-5. This is from the perspective of the pedestrian bridge near the south waterfront. Photojournalist Chad DeHart's on scene. No word on any injuries with this semi-crash, but as you can see, ODOT there and workers have a significant mess yet to clean up. And the traffic impact right now is that we're lined up 5.5 miles from the crash scene near the I-5-405 split all the way back past Capitol Highway. The red line here on my traffic map shows the significant backup. Again, this is out near Capitol Highway at this point. So if you want to escape this, your best bet at this point is going to be to use 99W Barber Boulevard to get in from the south. Otherwise, you've got a lengthy, very slow commute getting in from the south. Rod, we've got a crew headed to the scene. We're working to get more details, and we'll bring them to you just as soon.
Boy, that is a simply avoid if you can area this morning. Thank you, Chris. I've been showing you this rain map to point out the fact that this weekend will be the third consecutive weekend, third in a row, with a pretty good rainstorm coming in. The main front enters Friday morning, but it looks like it's going to be raining more than not Friday and Saturday. The rain totals this far out are projecting this to be the wettest of the three that we have had, so wetter than the last two weekends. Shows 2 to 3 at the beach, shows maybe 1.5 inches in Portland. And we have ourselves, for the first time this fall season, a Cascade snow map to show you. So this is snow starting, well, hold on, let me see if I can play this correctly. Okay, now go. I don't know what happened there. Anyway, that map, I apologize, was showing 6 inches of snow at Government Camp. Don't know what the snafu was there. But 6 inches of snow at Government Camp expected this Saturday into the night. that would mean change in the traction tires required. That's this Saturday over the Cascade Passes. In the meantime, we've got the cloud flow going up around us, and we're already starting to see increasing sunshine. Radar still showing up around Astoria, for example, a few frivolous traces of rain still being dropped out of the clouds. But generally, we are now seeing increasing sun. Here's the Shalem tasting room in Sherwood. Some shallow fog, but otherwise increasing sun breaks or breaks in the cloud cover, and 44 degrees up top. 51 in Portland, but 43 in Salem. Portland has breaks in the cloud cover. Salem is mainly sunny, at least over the state capitol this morning. And here are the valley numbers. This turns out to be a nice Monday, partly cloudy to mostly sunny. Low to mid 60s expected. Light winds, low to mid 60s, kind of normal for this time of the year. Similar situation up in Southwest Washington. There's a rain chance, wouldn't be much if we get anything at all, late Saturday. And I'm not sure if rain develops Sunday late day or not. We could be simply dry until Thursday night. There's the rainy weather coming in Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And that is your update.
Thank you, Ron.
And I have faith, and I have hope, and I believe, and I trust.
That local mother is still looking for answers 10 years after her son's murder. We'll share more from her when Sunrise Streaming Live at 7 continues in just 2 minutes.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yeah.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
A Portland mother is looking for answers 10 years after her son was killed in downtown Portland. KGW's Libby Dowsett spoke with the mother of Dion Matthews, who says she's been hoping that someone would come forward, and after 10 years with no answers, she's feeling broken inside.
KGW has followed this story for years and talked to Dion's mother many times. But she told me in this entire decade, she's only received one real tip.
But inside, I'm broken. Inside, I deal with this pain on a daily basis.
For 10 long years, Tanya Mayo has pleaded for someone to come forward with information about her son's homicide.
And I have faith, and I have hope, and I believe, and I trust.
Police say 23-year-old Dion Anthony Matthews Jr. died from a gunshot wound in a parking lot near Dante's nightclub on Southwest 3rd and Burnside, October 18th, 2015. Dion's mom said he had just gotten out of a concert and the people he was with scattered and never even called paramedics when Dion was shot.
So no one know anything? No one seen anything? Come on now.
Mayo says the only person who has called in a tip is a man who was downtown at the time of the shooting and said he comforted Dion as he took his last breath.
But that was an ounce of hope, an ounce of faith that what I'm doing is the right thing and my voice is being heard.
Dion leaves behind 2 sons, now 12 and nearly 10. The youngest born just 2 months after his father's death.
And he always say, what would my dad been doing? What was my dad like? Or, I really wish I could have got a chance to meet my dad.
Mayo says with a Crime Stoppers reward of up to $2,500, she's hoping someone will provide a tip.
What if this was your child? What if this was your daughter or your son? Wouldn't you want answers? Wouldn't you want closure?
If you have information to share, you can submit a tip anonymously through Crime Stoppers of Oregon. We have a link in our story at kgw.com.
Hundreds of people showed up at the University of Portland yesterday morning in an effort to help end breast cancer. They all took part in the Making Strides Against Breast Cancer of Oregon and Southwest Washington walk. The event raises awareness for breast cancer research and also raises money for the cause.
Locally, a lot of the funds that we raise, they go to support programs like our Road to Recovery program, which ensures patients get free access to rides to their life-saving treatment.
And strength is in numbers. And when we all come together, it makes us not feel ashamed for what it is that we're going through, especially men, because there's not a lot of men out there that have breast cancer. So it just brings us all together.
The walking event was yesterday, but it's not too late to donate. You can check out more information at the Making Strides website. All right, coming up here at 8 o'clock, a story that sounds like it was written in Hollywood. Thieves steal crown jewels from the most visited museum in the world, and they pulled off the heist in just 7 minutes' time. We'll have more details next hour. Plus,
Game 7, we haven't had one of those before for the Mariners, so let's get at it.
Let's get at it. It's a must-win game tonight for the Mariners after a tough loss last night in Toronto.